Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLuga. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Friday, February 7th. It is almost the weekend. Had NFL honors last night, and guess what? The Jacksonville Jaguars nominee for Walter Payton Man of the Year, Arik Armstead, was voted the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year, the most esteemed honor in football. Look, I know a lot of folks around Jacksonville want to, they have something negative to say. They have something snarky to say about Arik Armstead, but he has made a huge impact. And you also have news of some coaching hirings, hiring Kevin Wilkins, Ron Miles, and Chad Morton. So we're going to talk about those three hirings. We're going to talk about Arik Armstead. Really appreciate y'all tuning in today. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel further, you can check out genjag.com/shop. Pick up some new Duval gear like the hat I am wearing right now. So first we're going to talk about Armstead, then we're going to talk about these coaches. So Arik Armstead, his first season in Jacksonville did not go well, obviously. It started out weird. He took longer to recover from his offseason surgery than expected. Doug Peterson was clear when he said he felt like Armstead was going to be ready for the start of training camp, and then it took well into training camp to get him going. And then you get into the season, and they talked about it beforehand, but they said he was going to be a defensive end. Really weird. Playing him at defensive end instead of interior defensive line, where they could have really used his help. And so he did not have a great year. He didn't have a good lead up to the season because of, recovering from his injury, recovering from his surgery. And then he did not have a great year playing defensive end, being like the third defensive end for the Jaguars in Ryan Nielsen's defensive front, that kind of hockey rotation situation, which up front, defensive line, you do rotate a lot. Pretty much every team rotates, but I don't know why you didn't have Armstead on the field at the same time as Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker a whole lot more. So I thought that was pretty bizarre. And I've talked about it a lot. I expect Arik Armstead, if he's in Jacksonville, which I expect him to be based on his contract, and I expect him, if he moves inside like he said that he's going to, playing interior defensive line, playing defensive tackle in 2025, I expect him to look like the Arik Armstead you saw in San Francisco. He's not coming off a major injury, right? He's playing his natural position, hopefully 3-tech. So that's exciting. But now Arik Armstead, Walter Payton Man of the Year, Arik Armstead, he has done so much, in the Jacksonville community and throughout his career. So he started a while back. He started the Armstead Academic Project, which has, a lot of levels to it. But basically, trying to ensure every student, regardless of socioeconomic status, has direct access to the resources they need to thrive, unlock their potential, achieve their goals. And they've done that through a wide array of different programs and projects. And he has the Storytime with Arik Armstead project. Did that in Jacksonville and Sacramento, California, and San Francisco. So he's done a lot, and he's, according to the Jaguars, he's directly impacted over 500,000 youth, 516,500 youth throughout his career, and contributed more than $2 million. And this is what Arik Armstead says about receiving the award. He says, receiving the Walter Payton Man of the Year award is an incredible honor, one that goes beyond football. This award represents the power of service, the responsibility to uplift others, and the impact we can create through education. Through the Armstead Academic Project, my mission has always been to provide students with the resources they need to succeed. This recognition is a testament to that work, but there's still so much more to do. I'm committed to using my platform to create real change because the work doesn't stop here. So, congratulations to Arik Armstead, who is the second Jacksonville Jaguar to win the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Second player, obviously Calais Campbell the first. Both, big men that came over in free agency a little bit later in their career. And Calais had a great run, albeit too short run with the Jacksonville Jaguars. If he's still playing good football, should still be a Jacksonville Jaguar. But Arik Armstead has an opportunity to create a real lasting legacy on and off the field in Jacksonville. He absolutely does. And I think he should get that opportunity in 2025 as an interior defensive lineman on the field with the Jaguars. He's already made an impact off the field, everywhere he's been. So kudos to him. Now, getting to these coaches. Kevin Wilkins comes from Michigan. According to Mike Zenitz, he's going to be the Jaguars' assistant linebackers coach. He was outside linebacker coached the outside linebackers at Michigan. And so that's a 3-4 front type of role. He has experience in the NFL, though, as an inside linebackers coach as well. He's worked with Jesse Minter and Mike McDonald, and now Wink Martindale with the Michigan Wolverines. So he's had a variety of roles as a linebackers coach, and I think that obviously another up-and-coming coach that follows the trend here for the most part with the Jaguars. They did hire 2 coaches who aren't quite as youthful as well, or they're planning on hiring a couple coaches that are not quite as youthful, but we'll talk about them. But Kevin Wilkins, to me, like some people might look at Michigan's defense and look at Jesse Minter and Mike McDonald and say this is a sign that the Jaguars are moving towards a 3-4 defense, which it's possible. We don't know, right? Campanile has experience with a lot of different defensive fronts. So we don't know exactly what their plan will be. I expect them to be a multi-front defense. But Kevin Wilkins, again, according to Zenitz, is going to be the assistant linebackers coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you like the pedigree. You like where he comes from. I mean, working with Jesse Minter, Mike McDonald, and Wink Martindale, all these Baltimore Ravens, Michigan defensive guys, that's good. I think that's good resume, good pedigree. And so he'll be in Jacksonville. Ron Milas is also expected to be hired as a defensive backs coach per Zenitz as well. Don't know exactly what that means for Anthony Perkins, like how the roles will be, what the roles will be in Jacksonville with defensive backs coach. But, Ron Milas has been coaching defensive backs for a very, very long time. Since 1993, he's been coaching defensive backs in the NFL. And maybe that's what the Jaguars need back there. I mean, I think that there's been more talent back there than what you've really seen manifest, especially over the last year and a half, for the Jaguars secondary. Maybe they need somebody who can come in and instill some consistency, instill some, they don't look prepared regularly back there. And I don't mean Tyson Campbell. I mean pretty much everyone else. So maybe somebody with this much experience can help. But yeah, he was with the Colts 2022 to 2024, Raiders before that, Chargers before that, Broncos, Panthers, Rams, Giants, Cardinals, Broncos. Back then it was the Redskins, but the Commanders. Again, dating back to 1993, he's been a defensive backs or secondary coach almost every year, right? So, in fact, every single year since 1993, he has been a defensive backs or secondary coach in the NFL. That's pretty incredible. Good for him. 61 years old. So he'll be joining the Jaguar staff, according to Zenitz. And then you've also got Chad Morton, who I remember as a player. Chad Morton, running back out of USC, played with some different teams in the NFL. Chad Morton, according to Nicholas Moriano, is going to be joining the Jaguars coaching staff as a running backs coach. And Morton, he has a lot of experience with Shane Waldron, right? They worked together in Seattle. Then they worked together in Chicago. He was their running backs coach last year in Chicago, was the run game coordinator and running backs coach in 2022 and 2023 in Seattle. So kind of part of that Shane Waldron grouping, I would say. And he was in Seattle for a long time. He was in Seattle for almost a decade, 2014 to 2023. Before that, he was with Green Bay from 2009 to 2013. So he'll be joining the staff, again, according to Nicholas Moriano. as the running backs coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And those are the new hires that we know about. There's been a flurry of hires this week, reported hires at least. The Jaguars haven't officially announced anything outside of their coordinators, which they extended Heath Farwell. They signed Anthony Campanile to be their defensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator is Grant Udinski from the Minnesota Vikings, we learned a couple days ago. And it looks like this staff is mostly filled out based on all the reports. I mean, you've got running backs coach Richard Angulo is going to be the tight ends coach. He's back with the Jaguars. You've got quarterbacks coach Spencer Whipple. You've got pass game coordinator Shane Waldron. You've got everything, I think, offensively outside of maybe wide receiver coach and offensive line. And then defensively, you've got a bunch of guys as well. Matt Edwards, defensive line coach. You've got Tim Lukabu, linebackers coach. You've got your assistant linebackers coach. Now you've got 2 secondary coaches reported. So staff is getting filled out. And I would not be surprised if they announce the staff today or Monday, officially, the full staff. And they're still working on getting that general manager role locked down. They've got a wide net that they have cast for that general manager search. I tweeted out yesterday, but my 2 favorites are Chad Alexander and James Gladstone. Chad Alexander's from the Los Angeles Chargers, James Gladstone from the Los Angeles Rams. So just go get one of those LA guys and I'll be good to go. But no, I think that they're looking at a lot of the right places for a general manager, a lot of up and coming guys, which is not surprising based on how Liam Cohen and company have kind of put together their staff so far. Alexander and Gladstone, I think, both have the right idea when it comes to team building, when it comes to leadership. And leadership for the Jaguars is going to be the new GM, Liam Cohen, Tony Baselli as EVP, and they're going to have horizontal alignment. Each one is going to have a direct line to Shad Khan, and we'll see if it works out. Tony Baselli's never had a role quite like this with the Jaguars. Liam Cohen's never had a role quite like this either, as a head coach. And looking at your defensive coordinator, he's a first-time guy in the NFL. Offensive coordinator, first-time guy in the NFL. And Heath Farwell back, obviously, and he's got a ton of experience and high energy. So I like the direction the Jaguars are heading. None of these hires are really head-scratching or confusing, anything like that. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. And again, congratulations to Arik Armstead for winning NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year. Huge honor for him. Y'all have a good one.